Welcome to Disneylovinfam. We are making Star Wars ears today. I like to start gluing on the actual headband when you do the felt. I just cut off the excess then, and then we do the ends. And I just found it very easy to do this. When you apply it and you glue it all together, you're really not going to see where the one end stops and the other starts, because first of all, you're also going to cover it with sequins, so you're really not going to be able to tell. Now I kind of snip the ends, so then that way we can start gluing it together and you don't get a whole bunch of overlap. And then if you kind of snip it around like I'm doing right here too, it helps because it's arched, and so then it kind of helps the felt lay a little bit better than if you would just try to glue it all together and not have these little pieces like that. You'll just finish gluing the rest of the side, and then you'll do the same thing on the other side. Once you've glued it all, it'll look like this. Then we'll use the excess of that felt sheet and we'll be able to do the bow. And I do have the templates and I will attach them in the description below. Now it's time for the sequins. I start hot gluing and then attaching to the headband here. And then I kind of roll it, as you can see, and then I attach more. And then roll all the way to the side to see exactly how much, so then that way we can cut the rest of the sequins. Cut the excess off, kind of give an eye on how much do you think you're gonna need to cover the entire headband. Now we're going to do the sequins for the bow. So you want a little bit excess over what the felt is going to be, so then that way you can glue accordingly. Okay, back to the sequins on the headband, so we'll finish that up. I had started like you had seen before on just kind of gluing, and then as we go, like I'm doing here. Another easy way to do it is if you will take the one end of the sequins and glue it to the one end of the headband, and then take that strip of sequins and take it all the way to the other end and then hot glue it there, then it's all in a line. And that works too. Either way works. This is what it will look like when it's done. Now it's time to do the bow. So you see I do it on each of the edges, and then I will fold it over. And then you'll want to cut off the excess parts, and you'll see me do that in a little bit. Be careful, it's hot. I burned myself a few times. And you cut off the excess then, so then that way it doesn't bulge when you want to fold the bow, because this is the bow and we're going to fold it over. So you don't want that excess there. So that's why we snip off the excess of the sequins. And there's the bow part. I use quilt batting. It's probably the best one that I do like so far. I have used, and you'll see that in some other videos, I have used stuffing basically that you use for, say, a stuffed animal or something like that, and it works too. This is probably my favorite actually though. So, but the other works just as fine. In order to get that scrunch look, I just take a little bit of excess material and then I try to fold it in half to make sure I get the center. Then we just take it and then we're going to tie it, and we're going to tie it tight so then that way we can get that bow look. And just tie it in a double knot there, and then we cut off the excess strings and it makes a pretty bow. Now we do the ears. I have the template below. Use the one side, maybe write an L or an R depending upon what it is. Flip it to the other side and do the other side, and you'll do all four this way. Then you'll cut them out. And now we have the four. As you can see, I've labeled them L's and R's. L is for left side, R is for right side. Now we're going to cut the material for the images that we want to show on each ear. It kind of helps to put the material over the ears, see how the image comes out. Even to put it on top of the image might actually be more helpful, and then you'll just cut around it. And I've already done that now, and so now I'm just kind of placing it, kind of showing you how it's going to fit on the ear when we glue it. I get the batting and I take one of the ears and I go around it, and I actually have this one double folded. It's folded over twice, and then you'll put the image on top and we will start gluing. You do want to make sure that which side of ear that you're using, the image is portraying the exact way, whether it's upside down, right side up, whatever it is. So then that way when it's on the set of ears, it goes the exact way that you want it to. And now we're gluing, and you see I'm just pulling tight as I go around. This one I don't pre-cut before. I found that the fabric, it's just easier if you don't cut before. And so I just start gluing and I pull it tight and go around, and then we will cut off the excess edges. I had to go get some more glue because I almost ran out. See, I'm just pulling tight. And then we do the other side there. Be careful because the hot glue is hot and you can still feel it a little bit through the fabric, so you want to make sure that you don't burn yourself. And then we just cut off the excess like that, because what we want to happen is you want the ears to lay flat. So if you have a bunch of this bulged material like this, then it's not going to lay as flat as you want. So you just want to cut off the excess then. You'll do this for the remaining 3 pieces of ears. Now I do what I kind of call like ear flaps, if you will. I want to secure the ears onto the headband more than just hot gluing it on. So I've created these ears or wings, if you will, and I put these pieces on. It's just excess of the sequins, and I just attach it then on the inside of each piece of ear, and then I will glue those 2 pieces together, and that just helps, at least in my opinion, secure the ears that much more to the headband. Now to cover up where the two ears come together, we're just gonna do a small piece of ribbon, and I just found some that I think works really well. It's sparkly, it's pretty, so that's what we're gonna use. Now we use the template to place the ears then on the headband, like so, and then we'll glue it in place. And then we'll take those ear pieces, or wings if you will, and we will hot glue them as well. Now I do take the hot glue in between the creases, and I do just give it a little bit more extra. It just gives it that much more of a bonding. Do the same thing with the other ear, and then now we have them both on. Now we need to make the piece that ties the bow to the ears. We're going to do a strip here, and then we're not going to use any felt because it makes it a little bit harder to deal with. We're just going to use this, and then we're going to do 2 strips of glue, and then we're going to fold one over and then the other side, and then we have that strip then that's going to attach the bow to the ears. This is what the ears would look like if we just stopped there, and I do really like that, but I want to add some lightsabers. We found some and they light up, so we're going to add those. Towards the bottom of the lightsaber where the detail is, where you turn the button on, I did attach some glue to the bottom of the bow, and it helps solidify it that much more. You just didn't see it here. Those are our Star Wars No-Sew Mickey ears. Thanks for watching. Click that like button and subscribe.